So, I went to go see The Martian. Now, it's based on Andy Weir's incredibly popular novel, and it stars Matt Damon. I mean, of course it stars Matt Damon. His picture's on all the posters, so yeah, of course he's there. But there's also a great cast backing him up. I mean, just to name a few, there's Sean Bean, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Jeff Daniels, Kristen Wiig. It's a really good cast, and it's directed by Ridley Scott, who admittedly hasn't had the best track record recently. I mean, iffy films, but he's still a really good director. You're primarily going to see this movie compared to two other films. That would be Interstellar and Gravity. Mostly Gravity, I expect, but a little bit of both. And I can really see why. There's a lot of the same feeling behind those two movies in this film. From Interstellar, you get that whole idea of everyone working together to overcome a problem, to save humanity, and the whole world sort of pitches in, and that feeling of just solving problems incrementally. And Gravity, you get the whole, oh my god, everything that can go wrong will go wrong in space. Why don't we just call this Murphy's Law of the film? That's what you get from Gravity, which is pretty much what's going to stick out from The Martian in most people's minds. But I really have to say, this film, it's just a disaster movie. The whole idea is Matt Damon's character is stuck on Mars. Everyone thinks he's dead with like 2 months worth of supplies, and he needs to stretch that out into 4 years on the planet where nothing grows, and things just keep on going wrong, and he fixes that, and other people help him fix that eventually, and just you keep on progressing, and no, something else goes wrong, something else goes wrong, something else goes wrong, but it doesn't really feel like it's focusing on the things that are going wrong. What the movie is focusing on is the solutions to the problem and how they're getting the solutions, and that's really the main idea. It's like, hey, this went wrong, but oh my god, we did this, we just scienced the shit out of it, to steal a line from the movie and the book. I mean, that's generally the thrust of the film, and really, it's a lot of fun. It's a very, very entertaining movie. And honestly, a lot of that is due to the significant amounts of comedy in this movie. This movie is very funny. It's not funny like constantly all the way through. It's spaced out just right so that, you have this large tense moment of trying to figure out exactly how something is going to be fixed, what went wrong, you see something horrible. Pretty sure Matt Damon's character, Mark Watney, is doomed and going to die, and then he'll say some sort of smart-ass comment to lighten the mood, and it's just the right sort of thing that someone with that sort of sarcastic smart-ass personality would say, just to make light of the situation, to keep from just spiraling into despair. It's a really, really great little bit, and there's one scene in there that's just fantastic. On NASA, they have a little secret meeting, and they call it Project Elrond, right? Lord of the Rings. And someone in the room asks, Project Elrond? What's that? And Sean Bean's character answers and explains that it's from Lord of the Rings. So I thought that was fun. That was really cute, Good use of Sean Bean. Because, well, okay, I'm not sure there's a bad use of Sean Bean, but what can you do? And obviously, being an adaptation, there are things that are changed from the book to the movie. But for the most part, it's a pretty honest translation. But they did change some things. For instance, the beginning is different. Rather than starting just in the middle of things with the wonderful, wonderful opening line of, I'm pretty much fucked. Which just leads you into the tone of the book so nicely, and it would work for the movie too. Instead, they go back and they show everything happening up to him getting stranded on Mars, which works. I just would have preferred, like, the cold opening, personally, but what can you do? They also changed the ending a bit for no apparent reason that I can figure, but they did it, and it still worked in the movie, so, there's that. And also, the movie is long, like, really long. It's almost 2.5 hours. And that's not 2.5 hours of, a calm, fun story or an action-packed thrill ride. No, it's 2.5 hours of something going horribly wrong. Okay, let's fix that. Oh, something else goes horribly wrong. Let's fix that. Oh, something else goes horribly wrong. Let's fix that. And towards the end, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, like, things in these sorts of films do. And if it wasn't for the comedy in the movie, like I talked about earlier, it would just be completely oppressive towards the end. And it still is a little bit much towards the end. You're kind of ready for it to end, or at least I was. But it didn't stop the film from being fun. It just towards the end, you're like, oh god, okay, another one? What else can go wrong? Oh my god. Yeah, it's sort of that kind of thing. So just a little long, but still really fun. Just maybe like 15 minutes shorter, guys. And honestly, I say 15 minutes shorter, but I really don't know what they would cut out. There's not a lot of dead weight in this film. Anyway, in the end, this is a fun, entertaining, good movie. There's a good script with good acting and good direction. Just go watch it. It's a lot of fun. Sure, it airs a little bit on the popcorn movie side of the sci-fi spectrum, as opposed to, say, the really hardcore sci-fi like Primer, but I think that's for the best. This is something that anyone can go and watch and get excited about science and see the triumph of the human spirit and people coming together in spite of just cross-cultural differences and things like that to overcome problems and come together and science their way to solutions. It's a lot of fun. Go watch it. Your mileage, I suppose, might vary depending on how well you can deal with 2.5 hours of disaster film. But if you can deal with that, you should enjoy the movie, guys. Anywho, later and enjoy film.